Now we have a dialogue with the guest of honor, T.S. Singhdeo, Honorable Minister for Health and Family Welfare, Government of Chhattisgarh, and Arpit Gupta, Assistant Editor, ET Government, to moderate this session will be here. Over to you, Arpit.
On behalf of the Economic Times, I welcome Shri T.S. Singhdeo, Honorable Minister for Health and Family Welfare, Government of Chhattisgarh. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining the conversation. Mr. Singhdeo, state governments are rising to the occasion in managing the COVID-19 pandemic. What has been your, especially Chhattisgarh state experience, especially in facilitating and mobilizing critical healthcare resources? Over to you.
Critical healthcare would be the tertiary sector. So that we are not either so advanced or so much in place. Particularly the ICUs, we do not have enough ICUs that would have met the needs and requirements at the peak of the second wave. First wave was okay. We were in place to deal with the situation. Second wave beginning, it was okay. But 2 weeks or 1 week in between, about 10 days in between, when there were a large number of cases, we had more cases in a month than we had in the year before. The about 4,000 cases were the number that we had in Chhattisgarh before the second wave started. And in the second wave, we had 4,000 plus in April and 4,000 plus. This is the number of deaths I'm talking about in May too. So these were very tough months for us, and there we were short of ICU beds. Other requirements were not so difficult regarding COVID. Oxygen we were not short of. Skilled manpower we are not short of. ICU beds we did not have enough.
Mr. Singhdeo, how you are preparing for the third possible wave which is likely to encounter in the country?
It will come. We are quite clear, like we were sure about the second wave. We could not gauge the intensity of the second wave. Where we fell on the wrong side of preparation was not being able to visualize that the second wave would be more than four times the first wave. Say third wave, I am not visualizing it to be as severe as the second wave. And if it is not as severe, it will certainly not be more in numbers than the second wave. But the third wave will come. Certainly it will come. There may be waves after the third wave too. Hopefully less severe. The peaks will not be so high, particularly because vaccination is picking up. And hopefully people are more prepared in terms of the hand hygiene protocol, the physical distancing protocol, and wearing of the mask. So if one side, the taking care of yourselves, and the other side, vaccination, this should show us a lower peak than the second.
Thank you, Mr. Singhdeo. My next question to you is from the Chhattisgarh state's budget. So your state has reduced the budget of Health and Family Welfare Department by 602 crore rupees for the current fiscal year. And the last year's budget was around 6,572 crore. And this year's budget is reduced by 602 crores. Can you manage the public healthcare expenditure demands with the available funds which you have?
There would be two aspects because we are talking of COVID. So there is the non-COVID aspect of healthcare management and there is the COVID aspect. So for the non-COVID aspect, we do not lack funds for purchasing of medicines. We are not short of providing people healthcare through the Dr. Khubchand Baghel. We have merged Ayushman and all the other verticals that were available in terms of healthcare aids, either national programs or otherwise. We've merged them into one. So no dearth of funds in providing the financial assistance to patients who come to government clinics or private clinics who are empaneled. So there we do not lack in funds. As far as COVID care was concerned, this year, for example, only 100 crores was marked. But this was a provisional earmarking of 100 crores, not knowing whether the requirement would be as much as last year. So we have supplementary budgets. You'll be seeing the supplementary budget coming. And we've already spent more than 100 crores, even in this financial year from other heads. So the funds, I do not think will be a requirement. It was a projection which took a smaller requirement for COVID. And if, like we had a larger wave, we didn't fall short of funds for purchasing anything, whether it was even vaccines when we had to purchase. The government had funds to purchase those vaccines that were available. And we're not short of funds for purchasing medicines or injections or oxygen or anything. It is coming when required.
Right, Mr. Singhdev, you talked about Dr. Khub Chand Baghel Swasthya Yojana. So my next question to you, Chhattisgarh government has allocated around 1,200 crore rupees for National Health Mission and also around rupees 550 crore to Dr. Khub Chand Baghel Swasthya Sahayata Yojana. So what are your priorities apart from these two schemes?
We also have the Mukhyamantri Vishesh Swasthya Sahayata Yojana, where we have a limit of up to 20 lakhs. So particular ailments, 14 such ailments we have targeted, and we are going to expand that amount. So people requiring, for example, a kidney transplant, it would not be covered by Ayushman or the other arrangement, Dr. Khub Chand Baghel, where we have merged everything. There the limit is for 1 rupee a kilo ration card holders, which is about 54 lakh, 56 lakh families, up to 5 lakhs. The others who are the above poverty line families who get ration at rice at 10 rupees a kg, it is 50,000. For those who are up to 1 kg rice, who are included in the 1 kg rice scheme, like I said, 54 to 56 lakh families, this is more than 38 lakh families which were enrolled in Ayushman. The Ayushman recognized only 38 lakh families to be covered under that 5 lakh scheme, of which the government of India was providing up to 50,000. The rest was in any case being provided by the state government. So we've expanded the number of families that would be now included in that. And those families are eligible straight off for that 20 lakh limit. If they have such ailments, they would be covered by the Mukhyamantri Vishesh Swasthya Sahayata Yojana. Those in the APL category, if they apply to the Chief Minister and the Chief Minister sanctions that amount, even they would be having the facility to avail of the 20 lakh limit.
Right, Mr. Singhdev, I would like to also understand your view about the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, a national health insurance scheme to provide free access to healthcare for low-income earners. Beneficiaries are also eligible for national portability. So can you share Chhattisgarh's first-hand feedback on this national portability and its benefits?
National portability is a comfortable scheme. There is no issue with that. We have that, like I mentioned, within the Dr. Khub Chand Baghel scheme. The Ayushman scheme visualized 3 options. They gave 3 options to the states. One was a full insurance scheme. The other was a hybrid scheme, where you had part insurance, part looked after by the state government. And then you had the full scheme that would be looked after by the state government. So these 3 options we had. Chhattisgarh was going by the hybrid option. Some states have taken the full insurance model. Some states have taken the entire thing looked after by the state government, Ayushman included, and some had gone for the hybrid model. Chhattisgarh was in the hybrid model. I was seeing that we were not very comfortable with the insurance scheme. And why that was so was that if we were giving, for example, 600 crores to be covered by the insurance scheme, straight off 15% was taken by the insurance companies for their establishment expenditure, which means about 100 crores. Out of 600 crores, 90 crores, 100 crores, it is little more than 600. So straight off, 15% was going to the insurance company, not for the healthcare of the people. So that is why we preferred not to adopt the insurance scheme. And even in the insurance scheme, the first year when we started, the insurance premium was 300 odd rupees. By the time it continued, obviously the insurance companies needed more premium to cover their costs. So the cost went up for the premium to 1100 rupees. In fact, it was 1102 rupees. So with the escalating cost of the insurance premium to meet the healthcare of the people, so government was giving the money and 15% was being taken away by the insurance company for their establishment expenditure. So large amount of money was not being diverted directly to the healthcare. So we opted for the third option, which is also available in the insurance, so to say, Ayushman or Arogya scheme, and we are very happy with it.
Right. Thank you. I would also like to know your technology point of view. as Chhattisgarh has also developed CG Tika kind of portals, what has been the experience of your government in using technology in terms of public healthcare system and also aligning the Health and Family Welfare Department with the National Digital Health Mission and eSanjeevani, these kind of national teleconsultation service?
We need to grow. Certainly, we need to grow. And as these schemes come up, in fact, Chhattisgarh, we had thought of giving a health card number to each individual, whether it was a newborn child or an elderly person, 80 plus. Every individual was to have the health card. And with that health number, their health care would be taken care of, so to say. All the information would have been loaded onto that platform. And wherever, like you mentioned, portability, they could have gone to any hospital and there the record could have been, with their consent, seen by the doctors attending them. And then they could proceed and avail of the benefits and avail of the records. Now the government of India has proposed that same thing. So we've held back our, let us say, health card number. There would be confusion and spending of money. We would make a card, then government of India would come in with the card. So we withheld our scheme and we are waiting for the government of India. So once every individual has a health card number, newborn baby to the eldest, most elderly person in society, then we can cover all of them. That is theoretical. Then we need the platforms. That costs a little money and technology is available throughout the country. So that I don't see as much of a problem. At the moment, we are trying to put our ASHA workers onto the digital platform, where initially when the government came in, I saw that their payments were due for more than a year and a half. Very small amounts they get, but even that was due to them and they were running from pillar to post. So we put all of them onto this digital platform and we are trying to see that they get salaries monthly within a much shorter period of time. And their work is also put onto this platform. So whatever they are doing is also covered onto the IT platform. That apart, again, these are in bits and pieces. We have put our entire drug supply, drug and consumables, we put that onto the IT platform. So whatever we purchase is available on the platform. Whatever is the stock is available on the platform. Whatever is given to each center, right up to the sub-health center or the health and wellness center, that information is available on the platform. That would help you to streamline the supply and the purchase and trace the expiry date of drugs you have made available. So all this we are trying to do. We have, by putting this data on the platform, we have saved our drug wastage from over 12 crores to about 4 crores. So just by putting it on the platform, we have been able to save that much money straight away. So many drugs are not coming into the expiry, and then we know what to purchase, what not to purchase much more easily.
That is quite a big number, Mr. Singh Dev. As we know, your government and you yourself have been promoting public-private partnership, and recently your government has allotted a big land in Nawa Raipur for developing a multi-specialty hospital. Do you have any plans for new healthcare policy keeping public-private partnership in mind?
This has been launched by the Chief Minister. Frankly, I am not too keen on this public-private thing because my goal is universal healthcare. Frankly, near zero out-of-pocket expenditure for every individual of the state to get healthcare. So my thinking is on that platform. For the moment, I think for tertiary healthcare, where it will be difficult for the government to reach, and even later, even if you have universal healthcare, there would be a certain percentage of patients who would be needing to be treated at the tertiary level. So there, private hospitals can be there. I am a little wary of public-private participation because there are a lot of things I have seen which come in between. Machines are supplied, then once the machines are supplied, their consumables, they come at a premium. Most of these machines come with locked-in programs. You cannot buy consumables from the open market. The supplier, if it is A, then you have to buy that product A from that particular company only. The machine is not open-ended to buy that consumable from any person in the market, quality, but any producer in the market. So I am a little wary of PPP model, frankly. I'm sorry to disappoint a lot of people, but I am very wary of the PPP model. And I think that the government should invest more from public funds into healthcare rather than taking private participation and asking patients to pay through the government schemes. There are two things in healthcare. One is private care and private people who want to go and avail of those facilities. That is no issue. But for healthcare and quality healthcare to be made available to one and all through the public platform, I'm more of a backer of that rather than straight away jump into the PPP model.
Thank you. Thank you for putting your view upfront and straightforward, Mr. Singhdev. My last question to you around the vaccination. Only 3 districts in Chhattisgarh have achieved the target of 100% vaccination of 45 plus age group, including Raigad. When do you think that Chhattisgarh will achieve the target of 100% vaccination? And what is your strategy to achieve 100% vaccination target in both 45 plus and 18 to 44 age groups? Over to you, Mr. Singh.
It will need getting people to come forward. Raigad has done something today, though again, they are rushing into it rather than going steadily. Again, I am not very much in favor of this rush into it and do it and get it over with. We've had 2 deaths in Raigad district from after vaccination. So there is need to be cautious. You won't have as much stock available to go on vaccinating 1 lakh people every day in every district in Chhattisgarh. You don't have those vaccines available in the country so far. So our vaccination program should be spread out according to the vaccine availability. And as the vaccine comes, you vaccinate. These targets, very large targets, I am not in favor of that either.
Mr. Singh, 2.5 years of your government have passed by. What are your priorities for the remaining tenure?
We have to strengthen the healthcare facilities. I mentioned ICU beds earlier. So we have put up a proposal to the government for 1,390 ICU beds in the public sector, right from the community health centers, that is almost in every block, we have 176 odd community health centers. Then the district health centers, district hospitals, and then the medical colleges. So every medical college should have a minimum of 100 ICU beds. And the medical college at Raipur should have a minimum of 200 ICU beds. This is the higher end care that we should look at. Every district should be having between 20 to 50 ICU beds. And the community health center should be having up to 2 to 6 ICU beds. We are playing with those figures, trying to see what is available. We are looking into providing free diagnostics. You go for a blood test. I'm paying 2,000, 4,000, 10,000, 12,000 for a blood test. This blood test should be available free of cost. So we are taking this up in Chhattisgarh, and blood test would be made available through public sector units free of cost in Chhattisgarh. Drugs, so to say, what we are providing are free of cost. Tertiary care is being taken care of through schemes like Mukhyamantri Vishesh Swasthya Sahayata Yojana, and other primary and secondary healthcare issues are being taken care of by the Dr. Khub Chand Baghel Yojana. So we need to strengthen this. If there is a 5 lakh limit, can we make it 5 lakh for all? Can we take it up to 10 lakhs for everybody? So this is what healthcare is about, that public money should be paying for healthcare of the people through public institutions. We need to strengthen them, get doctors. We were quite short of doctors. We are almost full as far as medical officers are concerned, MBBS doctors are concerned. Our specialists are lacking. We are opening up a policy which was to fill these posts through promotion only. So we are opening this up to 50%, 50% direct recruitment, 50% through promotion. So we are about 85% short, 80 to 85% short where specialists are concerned. And we will not get them through promotions. You have more medical officers, that is MBBS doctors available through either the bond scheme, that is maybe not very popular with the doctors and students, but we are continuing with that. And of the 2,122 posts that we have filled in 2,111. So that is the sort of target we have been able to achieve. Healthcare is about not only infrastructure, it is about the human resource also mainly. It's the service sector. So there, putting in nurses, putting in doctors, putting in other medical staff that we need, putting in CT scan units in every district hospital. These are the targets we are looking at. Uh, uh, Dialysis, we are going in for 100% dialysis units in every district. It is painful to see, for example, Jashpur, a bordering district, you would know Jashpur. There, people were going to Ranchi and Raipur for a care like dialysis. So twice a week you need dialysis, maybe 3 times a week you need dialysis, and you're going to have to go to Ranchi and Raipur. So just yesterday we put in 5 dialysis units there, and the same program would be taken care, expanded to all the districts in Chhattisgarh. For chemotherapy, we are looking at having chemotherapy units in all the districts. So for a chemotherapy treatment, you don't need to spend your money, travel expenses, bus fare, train fare, hotel fare. You go with your family, fooding expenses. So you have chemotherapy units closer to home where your out-of-pocket expenses would be reduced. So various sectors, we are looking at various things. There are super specialty hospitals coming up. There are trauma units coming up. We are looking at trauma centers in all district hospitals. So lot of things actually. If I say one thing, I might forget the other. But this is what we are looking at. There's a super specialty hospital coming up in Jagdalpur. There's a super specialty hospital nearing completion at Bilaspur. They told me that it should be ready by October. But even if we give them some time, it will be ready. So 6 specialties would be taken care of there. For example, in Bilaspur, Koni Bilaspur, you know these places, I'm sure. So these are some of the things we are looking at.
Thank you, Mr. T.S. Singhdev, Honorable Minister for Health and Family Welfare, Government of Chhattisgarh, for talking to us. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we wish you all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen, for that quick yet informative talk. Dear viewers, if you are facing any technical difficulties at this platform, feel free to visit the health center in the lobby area. Our representatives are there to assist you. Enjoy the seamless experience and don't forget to tweet your takeaways using the hashtag #ETHGIIHS.